Speaking of politics, we're going to do more politics.
Yay.
It's Latin for many.
Tick.
Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
Fox News. Truth, baby. This is the headline. Disney lied about Florida's parental rights law. The mouse has been caught, says Leo Terrell.
This is the funniest quote from this whole thing.
Fox News contributor Leo Terrell asserted that Disney lied about Florida's parental rights law Wednesday on Hannity. Disney, quote, lied about this bill, he told host Sean Hannity. Quote, this was a parental rights bill. The mouse has been caught, and therefore the Florida state legislature has the right to grant this legislation to strike away their special privileges, end quote. The Florida Senate passed a bill Wednesday to strip Disney of its special self-governing status. The Florida state legislature has a backbone, Terrell said, as it is, quote, basically sending a message to all these woke corporations that you cannot dictate policy to the people of Florida, end quote. He added that he is, quote, very, very proud of the state of Florida. Yeah, you and Basil, huh? Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi shared State Agriculture Commissioner candidate Wilton Simpson's observation that the parental rights law is about, quote, protecting children and parents' rights from not having 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-olds talk about sex, period. End quote. Disney successfully flew under the radar, quote, for a very long time, Bondi said earlier in the interview. The company received its self-governing power 55 years ago when the counties where Disney was constructed lacked the resources to assist the company, she said. It will not succeed in challenging the parental rights law, she predicted, quote, Disney chose to wade into this debate, these liberal elitists, instead of staying in their lane, which is what? Entertaining families, making a lot of money for their shareholders. But instead, they decided to attack the state of Florida. They're the ones who said, we're going to fight this law. We're going to get this law overturned. So they picked this fight, and they're going to lose this fight. Scene.
Yeah.
Not scene, Sean, right. Sorry. End quote.
Scene, Shan.
You know what's interesting is, so I didn't know about the special rights that Disney had in Florida.
It's really fascinating.
It is fascinating, and what we're talking about here is, basically that they received a self-governing power. What is it, 40-mile acre land or something like that? And
so just real quick. How it happened. They came to build. This was like 50 years ago. They said, we're going to build Disneyland here. And when it comes to Disney World, when it comes to that kind of development, the county or the state is, they kind of kick in. They kind of, bring the utilities in. The state has a responsibility there. And the county was not able to do that. It was a poor county. They didn't have the money to help out, do their duty basically for the people of the county. And so Disney just said, okay, we don't need you. That's fine. You don't have to spend the money. We'll spend the money. We'll take care of it. But in return, we basically are like our own little country. Like we are self-regulated. You're not going to, mess with us. You don't come check our meters. You don't come do anything.
Yeah, they're kind of like DC or the Vatican City. They're kind of their own
thing. Yeah, I know
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're kind of like the Chaz autonomous zone. They're like a breakaway civilization.
Yeah, what's funny too is that. And I learned all this because on social media, Chick-fil-A was trending. And I was like, whoa, what woke thing happened now with Chick-fil-A, And what it was a bunch of people on Twitter, so not a majority, but just a few people on Twitter that were highlighted by Twitter algos that were out there saying, oh, I guess we can shut down Chick-fil-A now. But Newsom, go shut down Chick-fil-A because, DeSantis is shutting down Disney. And it was like, okay, what weird.
You just have no idea.
No idea. It's like,
about.
I didn't know Chick-fil-A had that much power in California. That I didn't know they were their own nation almost in California. So anyway,
exactly. They're just stupid. They don't know what's going on. But it's interesting too. I mean, you get into the real conspiracy stuff. I mean, concerning Pizzagate and Epstein and all that kind of stuff. All the underground stuff. All the weirdness surrounding Disney.
A couple weeks ago, and I think we passed on the story, and it was in the additional stories section. The heir to Disney, to Walt Disney, came out as trans. Like he's public about it now.
Oh, that's been driving this whole thing.
This is okay. So I just wanted to mention that as part of the.
That's the inside sort of baseball of this whole thing. Is the heir to the Disney throne is trans and is the one driving a lot of Disney's involvement in, again, sort of rebranding the parental rights bill into the Don't Say Gay bill, and then trying to affect the government of Florida while being exempt from the government of Florida. And I mean, it really was a pretty, again, mano a mano battle with DeSantis and the state of Florida versus Disneyland. And that's problematic. You get sort of, what is it? It's more than 40 acres. It's like a 40 square mile.
No, I was going to say, 40 miles, 40 square miles. Yeah.
You get 40 square miles that, the government has no authority over, basically.
You're gonna do some stuff.
There could be some weird stuff
it's
going
like
on.
The guy,
nobody would know.
It's like the story last episode where, the Netflix documentary coming out, Our Father, the guy who had he was a fertility doctor, and he ended up, fathering like 50 something kids because he was messing in his laboratory. The same thing, you got the ability, you don't necessarily have anybody looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And so,
this thing, again, pulling out, taking a wider view of it, we've talked about the Great Reset and stakeholder capitalism, where corporations are, basically replacing governments in a lot of ways, or at least that's the goal. You basically had Disney in that role, like in that situation already.
Yeah.
And so DeSantis doing what he did, and his team, I don't know if it's just him, but fighting back against this idea that corporations would be more responsible governors than the government. Now, look, I'm not fans of either, but in the battle that we've been tracking and watching for years now with the Great Reset, this is an interesting step in sort of the other direction, and I'm sure they're not happy about it.
Yeah, the CEO of Disney came out, Bob Chapek. He told his employees, the Disney employees, quote, "You needed me to be a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights, and I let you down. I'm sorry."
Equal rights? Equal rights for what? You wanted to take the rights away from parents to decide what their children
learn. It's not
about
parents.
Was equal rights for teachers to have equal rights to parent the children?
Pedophile lizards.
Okay.
Here's the other thing that I thought, timing-wise, so interesting. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that this morning on the TEDx Talks YouTube channel, a video was published, a TEDx talk by Isaac Bruchowitz titled, "The Magical Secrets of Disney's Communication." What do you think it's about, Basil? The Magical Secrets of Disney's Communication.
I don't know. It sounds ominous to me, though.
It sounds like a video I would have made on the Facelikethesun YouTube channel talking about the strange occult magic that Disney does in their communication methodology,
the brainwashing, the social engineering,
create the mind control, the young minds that they're creating some sort of slave class with, and all this kind of stuff. No, it's about how the rides at Disney, evolved over time, and they had to shift, and they had to listen to the public who had thoughts about.
Is this an SEO takeover or something?
I think this is an SEO takeover. They don't want. They knew Disney was going to be highly searched. Today. I mean, it has been in the last few days, but I think they just needed to throw something in there.
They didn't want anybody stumbling across any conspiracy theory videos on accident.
They didn't want anybody to look for magical secrets, the phrase magical secrets or Disney communication in the context of some kind of, more truthful analysis of what's going on. So, they busted out this TED Talk, which is the most boring thing. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, listening to this guy talk about how the first Peter Pan ride didn't have Peter Pan in it because they were trying to say that you're Peter Pan. The public didn't get it, so they had, 5 years later, they made another Peter Pan ride. You know, it's just like,
wow,
magical secrets of Disney's communication. So yeah, it was brutal. But there you go. I just thought it was an interesting thing to see. You know, the timing of it all.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, you know, I have something that's related but also unrelated.
Okay.
But it's just a delight, and I think it'll be a nice transition into the break.
Is it a Ghislaine Maxwell picture from Disney from 1985? Because we got that too.
No,
okay.
It's not that. More fun than that.
Oh, more
this
fun.
This is coming from news.yahoo.com, mirrored by from HuffPost. The headline, Rudy Giuliani
all right.
unveiled
Whoa.
on The Masked Singer. Judge Ken Jeong walks off. I'm done.
Oh, please.
Rudy Giuliani, the former New York City mayor and one-time personal attorney to ex-president Donald Trump, was unmasked on Wednesday's episode of The Masked Singer. It was first reported in February that Giuliani was a contestant on the Fox competition show and that two of the four judges, actor Ken Jeong and singer Robin Thicke, left the stage in protest when his identity was revealed during the taping of the episode. In the version that aired Wednesday, Giuliani was revealed as the inhabitant of the Jack-in-the-Box costume.
Oh, wow. Put him in the clown suit, huh?
Put Giuliani in a clown suit, make him dance around. Oh, my gosh, Thicke said after the unmasking. Quote, "This is definitely something I never would have guessed." Ooh.
Cha-ching,
That's
says
good.
the PR people.
Yeah, that's good TV right there.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Jeong was seen walking away as Giuliani gave a farewell performance of Bad to the Bone.
Oh, God.
I wonder if these clips work. If we could get any of these clips to work, I have to.
Yeah, it says this content is not available due to my privacy preferences, which is kind of weird.
Okay, figure that out while I read this. I'm done, Jeong said as he departed. It's not clear if Thicke also exited. He was not shown doing so in the footage. Two other judges, actor Jenny McCarthy, and that's weird they let McCarthy on there, and singer Nicole.
I thought she's been on there for a long time.
Maybe. I don't know anything about it. And I just mean, like, let her on TV. Since she an anti-vaxxer?
I don't remember.
Somebody else.
Maybe someone else.
And singer Nicole Scherzinger stayed and danced along to the song. Giuliani was one the speakers at Trump's January 6, 2021 rally contesting the 2020 election results, and he led Trump's legal efforts to overthrow election results. Speaking to the crowd before some went on to storm the U.S. Capitol, Giuliani told them that the voting machines were rigged to make Joe Biden the president.
We all remember the sweat, the black sweat coming off of his forehead.
The leaking hair
dye sweat, yeah.
Rigged to make Joe Biden the president, and that it was time for a trial by combat.
Oh, boy.
Trump's legal team filed. It just goes into Trump stuff.
Trump stuff.
It just goes Trump. Oh, they do mention in 2020, former Republican vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin competed on the show as a pink and purple tie-dye bear, sparking backlash from viewers.
Oh, God. You know what it is? It's like anytime they need some kind of PR boost, they're like, get a Republican up in there, freak out the judges.
Listen to this. This is still about Palin. In her defamation case against the New York Times earlier this year, she sought to bar the jury from seeing the video from the show. They were going to show the video of Sarah Palin dancing on a TV show in a purple tie-dye bear costume at her defamation lawsuit case.
Maybe that's what they're setting up for Rudy Giuliani here, he's in a clown suit. He's a clown.
That's what I mean. Like, why would he do this? Now, this is pretty common for like PR rehabilitation stuff. just being on TV, being on a sort of a vapid, sort of useless TV show that people just watch for fun, whatever, it's a pretty strong PR rehabilitation move to put somebody on a show like this. But yeah, I don't know, man. Putting Giuliani in a clown suit and having him dance around and sing Bad to the Bone seems like a bit of a setup to me. And I don't know if I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. It's weird, man.
I don't know what's going on.
We're just living in clown world here.
Well, speaking of clown, do you remember,
I can watch the video.
Do you remember this?
Folks, do you have any idea what this clown's doing?
Biden calling Trump a clown in the debate. I have the video here. You ready? This is 22 seconds. It has 11.3 million views.
Oh, it's good.
Before I make you,
I'm done.
I'll break 1,000 more, baby. Before I am
Giuliani singing.
I want to be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone.
Oh, this is
I'm
so
here
cringe.
to tell you, honey, that
so
I'm bad
bad.
to the bone. Bad to the bone.
Oh my gosh. What is he doing? Now, for those who are just watching, he's in this giant, crazy clown suit. And, I don't know if it's because he obviously can't dance. I mean, he
apparently can't dance or sing
or walk or sing or do anything. He's standing in a giant box where he can't move. He can't do anything. He's just standing there in a giant box dressed as a clown and just sort of yelling the words to Bad to the Bone, which it's not working, man. It's not working for me. I may have walked off too, so I can't really blame this guy.
I love the shot. They do a crowd shot, and it just shows the crowd like all into it. And it's like, oh man, how much do these people?
It's probably, I'm thinking that's B-roll. He could have been on an empty stage and they just cut this all together. And you got to keep in mind talk about humiliation rituals.
Yes. They've been doing a lot of that recently, huh?
A lot of that going on this episode. He was the mayor of New York, the beloved mayor of New York.
He cleaned up the whole mafia situation, right?
And he was mayor during 9/11.
Right.
He was the man who put the
right.
city back together, the strong leader. And then, of course, the Trump stuff happened. He's supposed to be, his whole thing is like trying to be like a respected politician and leader and lawyer, rather. And then to just dress like a clown and stand in a box and kind of wiggle back and forth. And honestly, a little bit of an inappropriate song for Giuliani to be singing, but okay. Anyways, it was just a fun time. Just to again, another humiliation ritual. What does this mean? How will this be used in the future? If I was one of Giuliani's enemies, this would be pure gold.
Yeah, I was trying to find any information on Giuliani's spokespeople or public relations people or just anything, and there's not a whole lot. I'm sure they change over time and stuff, but
after this they might not be his PR people anymore.
It's possible. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe within the realm of Hollywood, you got these agents competing. It is a very competitive sort of industry. Yep. And I don't know. It could have been one of those a favor pull or something. Who knows? But very bizarre.